Hey, everybody, it's Matt. It's good to be with you again. And this is the lecture video I call Meet Me at the Crossroads. It's the introduction to the rest of the series. Each lecture focuses on one of the 10 cultural activists whose stories are told in the Beginner's Guide. And these artists, as a group, are working in a very wide range of artistic disciplines, performing arts, visual arts, media arts, etc., in a very wide range of communities and on a wide range of social justice issues that really touch on every possible subject matter. So the purpose of these lectures is to underline and expand upon what we believe is most relevant and useful for you as classroom teachers. First, you read the story, then you watch the video lecture that's associated with that story, and then you take a short quiz that tests your understanding of the material and your ability to translate it into use for your classroom. Then you do some field work, which will be some kind of exercise or learning activity related to the story, and you'll do those in your classroom. You'll test them out on yourself and on your students. And then you'll post responses based on your experiences to the field work in the discussion boards and respond to your peers about what they say. And the idea is that while it will change from story to story a bit, pretty much every week you will go through some variation of this cycle for 1 to 3 stories. In case you're wondering, during these lectures I'm talking to you from my home office in New Orleans, Louisiana, in the Marigny neighborhood. And I live about 7 blocks from the Mississippi River, right there in the Bend, just upriver from the lower Ninth Ward that was hit so hard during Hurricane Katrina, and downriver from the famous French Quarter. And that's where I'm talking to you from. Each lecture contains 6 main elements. There's an introduction, there's a table that kind of concisely tells you where this story fits in to the overall craft process. There's an explanation of the social issue that the cultural activist is responding to in their community, a strategy that they're using that we think is particularly important or unique to them, and key concepts from the story that we think are particularly relevant for you in the classroom. And then last, we have a resource page where you'll find information for further reading, watching, whatever. And I just want you to know that everything that you see on these resource pages is duplicated in our knowledge base. We have a comprehensive list and with links and so forth to everything you'll see on these resource pages in the knowledge base, which you find in the teacher resources section of Brightspace. Okay, let's begin. Cultural activism happens at the crossroads of 3 practices: academics, arts, and organizing. And by integrating these 3 processes, you can build a more challenging and effective learning environment for your students. So to facilitate this process, we've created a language we call CRAFT, which stands for the 5 elements or territories of the cultural activist journey: contact, research, action, feedback, and teaching. And because this language is so central to the workshop, I hope you will forgive me if I read the definitions aloud. Contact: cultivate trust, mutual understanding, and commitment as a foundation for your creative partnership. Research: gather information about the people, places, and issues involved. Action: produce and present new work to the public. Feedback: spark reflection, dialogue, and organizing to spread the impact of the new work. And teaching: pass on skills and knowledge to sustain the impact. Each practice has its own strengths and weaknesses, but together we believe they can spark a transformative learning experience for your students. So academics is the realm of the head, and knowledge comes mainly through reason. The arts is the realm of the heart, and knowledge comes mainly through the imagination. Community organizing is the realm of the body, and knowledge comes mainly from sense perception. And the idea is that It's the experience of being at the crossroads of these three ways of knowing over a sustained period of time that triggers transformation and growth. In Transformative Dimensions of Adult Learning, a book that influenced me greatly, Jack Mezirow talks about how transformative learning is a result of a disorienting dilemma. And this is defined as an experience or a set of experiences that somehow challenges prior assumptions and beliefs so deeply that not only perceptions of facts change, but an entire worldview changes. And this is closely related to myths of the hero's journey that you see in Star Wars and really throughout popular culture, as well as the rites of passage that you find in our culture and many cultures the world over. It's this sense that in order to become an adult, one must shift one's frame of reference, and cultural activism is a way to accomplish this. It's the same thing popular educator Paulo Freire calls conscientization. It's that moment, whether it comes in a flash or incrementally over months and years, when young people realize they are the owners and makers of society, not just consumers. And it's at that moment their education shifts from something they must do for someone else to something they are hungry to do for themselves. And this is the shift that we're going to be looking for in your students. As a shorthand for these ideas and as a way to talk about them with your students, we've created a formula. Information plus imagination plus action equals knowledge. And we think this is the kind of education your students deserve. So, as we begin this journey with you, we're going to set 3 questions before you and your students. First, what essential questions do you want to explore? Second, what do you want to create to refine and share what you've learned? And what impact do you want to have with your creations? These are the 3 questions that will drive the rest of the workshop curriculum. To assist you in your journey, we have created what we call a knowledge base within the course shell that contains references for all the questions you are likely to have after watching each video. Every resource that's mentioned in the lecture can be found in the knowledge base as well, along with other resources we've brought together around the same questions. You can find the knowledge base within the Teacher Resources section of the course shell. All right, that's it for now. Bye.